Question for the Vice President of the United States, Sister Kamala Harris. You were in Ghana a few days ago. Sister Kamala Harris, you were in Ghana a few days ago. Sister Kamala Harris, you was in my motherland a few days ago. You didn't go to Africa to cancel the debt that they shouldn't even owe to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund of the United States government. You didn't go to Ghana to cancel the debt that African nations owe to the World Bank and International Monetary Fund of Washington, D.C. You didn't go to Ghana to build no institutions for African people. You didn't go to Ghana to pay no reparations for African slavery. You didn't go to Ghana to do anything progressive for African people. And for all the problems we have in the African diaspora, we got wars going on in Africa. We got gang banging going on in Africa. We got genocide going on in Africa. We got hunger going on in Africa. Not that all of Africa is struggling with those things, because Africa is a modern paradise. But my point is, there are issues in Africa. We got coups that were financed by the U.S. government in Africa. We have coups, overthrow of democratically elected governments on African soil, financed by American CIA. But you didn't go to Africa to deal with them coups. You didn't go to Africa to deal with all the diseases y'all be dropping off. You didn't go to Africa to deal with all the mineral exploitation by the global white power structure. But you went to Africa to make Africa safe for the Rainbow Mafia. You went to Africa not to help a child, not to help a family, not to cancel no debt, not to build no institutions, not to address these coups that the CIA financed. You didn't go to Africa, Kamala Harris, to do anything progressive. You went to Africa to make Ghana safe for the Rainbow Mafia. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord, of all the problems you could have dealt with in Africa, like reparations for American theft of African bodies for 400 years, like reparations for American theft of African bodies for 400 years, like reparations for American theft of African bodies, you didn't deal with that. No, no, no. You went to Ghana to make it safe for the Rainbow Mafia. You flew how many thousand miles? You flew how many thousand miles to do what? Have a conversation with the president to make sure Ghana is safe for the Rainbow Mafia. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. No disrespect to my African rainbow gangers. But if you can't see the agenda, if you still can't see the agenda by now, if there is any question left in your mind that the whole purpose of the Zaya Wade phenomenon, the whole purpose of the Rainbow Gang Mafia, the whole purpose of this agenda in Africa is the extermination of black life. It is the repudiation of the black family. It is about the genocide of God's original people. Why does America care how Africa chooses to regulate familyhood? What does America care for how Africa chooses to run their culture? What does America care for how Africa decides to define family? Since when did America care about black families? Since when did America care about black families? I mean, you sold us away from our mothers. You raped our mothers in front of our face and sold us away. You beat and castrated our fathers, sold him away. You took the slave children away from the slave mother before the natural bond of affection and affiliation can be born. When you look at the scientific, demonic process of making a slave in America, how can you then conclude 157 years post 13th Amendment that you now care about the black family, but you don't care about the natural black family? You don't care about the natural black family. You don't care about the natural black family. I don't hear you pushing man, woman, and child in Africa, Kamala Harris. I don't hear you pushing man, woman, and child in Africa. The reason you're not pushing man, woman, and child, because Africa already has man, woman, and child. And Africa had man, woman, and child before Asia had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before Europe had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before Australia had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before North America had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before South America had it. Africa had man, woman, and child before the Caribbean had it. So we don't need you to push a black family agenda. So if you're not pushing a natural family agenda in Africa, what is the nature of your family agenda? I'm going to call it disfamily agenda. What is the nature of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's disfamily agenda? You got police killing black people like it's going out of style. You got police killing black people like it's going out of style. You got police in America killing black people like it's going out of style. We had a brother lynched by the police in Memphis. We had another brother beheaded in Mississippi. Beheaded in Mississippi. Emmett Till 2023. Emmett Till 2023. No answers for that. We got a Jackson water crisis. We got a Flint, Michigan water crisis. And instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, instead of taking care of the black people who voted your ass in office, Kamala Harris, you get on a plane. You get on the plane and you take your ass of several thousand miles to the birth of civilization. You walk into the western shore of the homeland of civilization and you manipulate the president of Ghana into modifying his anti-rainbow policies. You manipulate the president of Ghana into modifying his anti-rainbow policies. You have lost your mind. I need the AKAs to speak to this. I love my Alpha Kappa Alphas, but your soror is out of line. I said I love my AKAs. I love the pink and green. Y'all some fine ass sisters. You understand me? But your soror is out of line. So the question is, when are the lovely ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated going to send a message to the Vice President of the United States? We love you, soror, but you are not taking care of business. What are you doing in Africa pushing rainbow policy when you should be in the United States protecting the Africans who voted you into office? How about some police policy? How about some gentrification policy? How about some miseducation policy? How about some mass incarceration policy? How about some reparations policy? How about some economic policy? Kamala Harris, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Instead, you want to go to Africa and try to convince the oldest human civilization on the planet Earth. You want to go to Africa and you're trying to convince the oldest human civilization on the planet Earth to abandon man, woman, and child. To abandon the original holy trinity of man, woman, and child. You want Ghana. You want Nigeria. You want Senegal. You want Cote d'Ivoire, you want Togo and Benin, you want Gambia and Zambia, you want the Congo, you want the entire continent to abandon the original holy trinity of man, woman, and child and instead embrace the ungodly. You want Africa to embrace the ungodly. I'm warning my presidents of Africa, and I'm warning my presidents of Africa. 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 I'm warning my presidents of Africa, but I don't want my African nations to fall out of divine alignment.